What's up, everybody? It's Andrew here, along with my co-host Zach. On one of these sides, Zach, say hello.
Hello. I
And
don't know
we're
which side I'm
here.
on either.
Yeah, I don't. We don't. I don't know which side you are on. Usually, I don't anymore. And we're here with another episode of the Let's Park a podcast. I don't know what episode this is, Zach, but we are in double digits. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think we hit 10 last time.
I think so. This is 11.
Yeah, I think so.
1-1.
I mean, we should have probably double checked,
We
but
should have probably double checked. We're clearly
we're
professionals.
we're getting there.
We're getting there. All two people who listen to us. Thank you for listening,
Yes,
Mom and
thank you.
Dad.
My parents don't even listen to this.
You know, I don't want to listen to those rambling idiots. They're like, yes, neither do we. Um. So yeah, a lot of stuff has happened since the last time that we chatted, and we talked about Halloween Horror Nights. Even stuff with Halloween Horror Nights and Halloween has changed even since then. Um. But I'm just gonna put it right out there. We talked about me going to Orlando, and I know you're very jealous and you're supposed to come with, but as you can tell by the merch, if you're watching, I went. I took the trip down to Orlando safely. No coronavirus yet. We'll see if we get an update on that later. And I have to say, I'm incredibly impressed with Universal. It was an amazing time. My feet still hurt, but the amount of safety and care that they did to make sure everyone was safe was incredible. It was uh, I haven't had so much hand sanitizer on my hands ever than I had in that past week at Universal Studios. They were just every ride you went on, there had a whole entire team of just people telling people to keep their masks up. Like they were yelling at people. It was amazing, Zach. I loved it because I loved watching them tell other people like, "Put your mask up." You're like, "Just put it up, man," because people do the whole
Yeah,
nose thing, like keep it right here.
yeah,
And I mean, like, I get it. You're trying, whatever, but just put it above your nose. And every team member was like, "Mask up, mask up." And then even if you were on a ride, they would watch you. And then in certain rides, I've heard them call people out and be like, masks need to be on at all times. And like, it was so much sanitization. Is that the right word? Yeah, going
yeah,
on that. I mean, it was fun. It was good to be back at the parks. I felt amazing. It was a little weird. Certain things
yeah,
weren't open. Of course it's gonna be, but there was no lines for anything. I loved that.
yeah. What was your Hagrid's count?
I won't lie. I was there from Wednesday, I full day Wednesday, and then got way wasted on Wednesday because I went hard. I went like 8 a.m. to like 6, drinking during the day. It was Florida summer, and you know what Florida summer is like.
Yeah,
Just crazy 99-degree humid bullshit. So I didn't take into account that. And I'm stupid and didn't bring sunblock. So the first day I'm drinking like a fish, having a great time, putting them back, riding rides. I'm gonna get to the Hagrid's count in a little bit. And wait, I don't even know where I was going with this already. Basically, Hagrid's count was in for 5 days. So, anyways, yes, I was there Wednesday to Sunday, I believe. I think Sunday I left. Usually Saturday or Sunday. I forget at this point. I think it was Saturday. And so what is that? 4 or 5 days, something like that.
yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. No, I think it was there for still Sunday. So 5 days. Um, I think I was over 25 on Hagrid's. Like every day, I was just. It was so easy. The virtual line is amazing. I
Yeah,
hope they keep that because it created such a cool. And you would basically get it, walk through the line, but you'd have to wait before the line because of bags. So if you had a bag, you had to like wait, but you had to wait in that line regardless. And that was the only thing that kind of like took a while. and which I never did. So you'd have to wait for these people and make sure you had your pass and blah blah blah, because not everyone knew about it. So there's a lot of people who just were like, "What am I doing here?" And you had to like kind of wade through all these people. But once you got into the line, if the ride was running smooth that day, you walked right on. And that line is like a 10-minute walk. So
Yeah.
you're just like, you're just running through it. And then while you were in line, so they would scan your ticket or your online pass, and then that wouldn't disappear right away. It would just, I think they just made it so people didn't really want to go back on. They couldn't get another pass because if you go to like Disney, just it disappears like right when you do it,
Yeah.
but not for this. So I didn't. The first time I wrote it, I'm like, well, I don't need this thing. I don't know if I need this anymore. So I kept the first one and then got off the ride to try to get another one. Because like I think once you get off the ride, it's like 10 minutes or something, then it disappears. But once you're scanned in, it's good to go. So I would delete it and then try to get another one right away. And most of the time you could. So you would go,
Nice.
and depending on the day or the time, it would have like, say I went and I got a pass for like right away in the morning for 9 o'clock, 9 to 9:15, 9 to 9:30. It's usually like a half an hour. Um, you could go ride the ride and then usually get one for at least a half an hour or an hour later. But the cool thing was is you could keep that pass up to 6 people, and I was just one. You could click modify and get, and if you had another time available, you could get an earlier time. So
Huh.
I'd be like there, I'd be walking around, and I'd go modify, and I'd be like, oh, I can ride right now. So I'd be like, I'd turn around, go right back on the ride. And I'll tell you what, that ride's awesome. I
Yeah.
love that ride. It's so good.
That's great. I mean, last time we went, we waited 2 hours every day for it. It it was worth the wait,
Oh
but
yeah,
that sounds way better.
it, it's it was it. I mean, I remember the first time that I rode it too, uh, with Anya, and I think we waited 2 hours for it. That back line, like that back line,
Yeah.
still way worth it. The thing is they didn't have pre-shows going on, so there was no, we were watching Hagrid and Hound, and they're like doing their whole little pre-show and that kind of stuff. None of those were working. So any Harry Potter ride that had a pre-show, like in Gringotts, where it's not Ron Weasley, but one of the Weasleys, and he does the whole like key thing. That wasn't going, so you just walk through that. The elevator in the Gringotts wasn't working, so you walked right through the whole like you. I'm talking about breaking the magic right there, where you're like,
Yeah.
I thought I was being transported, and you just walk through the elevator in Gringotts. But it was like, it was nice. There were signs everywhere teaching everybody everything, and it was a lot. It was a lot of social distancing, that kind of stuff. Everyone had their masks on. There was just hand sanitizer everywhere. Uh, Temperature checks every morning in order to get into the ride. And then like I said before, I got wasted on that first day, and then I woke up the next morning and I'm like, oh my god, I have it. But really, what happened is I sweated out everything in my body the day before, and I was only replenishing it with alcohol. So I was extremely dehydrated, tired, and sunburnt. So my body was like, "You're not doing anything." I'm like still recovering from that damn trip. Um, Other than that, though, it was a great time. I highly recommend going. Being safe. But if you can't go, the parks will still be there. Um, God, I could go about it. Oh, the Bourne Stuntacular.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that.
Yes. Worthy replacement for T2, right? T2?
Yeah.
Is that what it was called? With Terminator, basically.
Yeah.
The fact that they use the same technology as like how they do it in The Mandalorian, there were certain things where it would like you didn't know if that was an actor or a person doing it, and it seamlessly interweaved. And like there's good video of it out on there on YouTube, and watching it's really cool, but it doesn't do it justice. Um, there's and it was a technical rehearsal too. So it stopped at one point, and all of a sudden it was like that, because everything just like goes do 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 boop, and everything freezes, and then they just restart it, and you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. But there was definitely some cool things where like there's like that one scene, and spoiler alert, where they're like in the Middle East, and there's like the thing grows, the castle or whatever he's in kind of grows, and then the scene goes up, so it looks like he's going up at the same time. That in person was like out of this world. I was like, what is going on? And I already watched it via YouTube. It was so cool to see all these things in person, and such a different and visceral experience in person. I think you're gonna enjoy it a lot, especially if you have like one or two drinks in. You're like, okay, yeah, yeah. You get yourself like in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I enjoyed just from the YouTube video. Like, I thought I was gonna hate this show,
yeah,
but I was impressed by what I saw on
yeah.
YouTube.
And I cannot wait for you to watch it in person. It's There's nothing to the queue line. The queue line's boring and plain and whatever, but it's the
It's
boring.
pretty much the
Boring.
same, just with boring stuff thrown in.
Yeah. The queue line wasn't much to begin with, but yeah, it's pretty cool what they do, and like the room, it's just a big screen basically, but it doesn't look like a screen, and the quality of the video is like out of this world. It is insane. So I'm excited, and they did do a release date on that, didn't they, of the official opening?
I think it already happened.
Yeah, like it's either today or was yesterday or something. Because I know they were doing technical rehearsals while I was there, and I tried to watch it again, but I didn't get to. I only got to watch it once, only because of my own fault. But I did watch the horror show, and what's it called?
A horror makeup show.
Yeah, and that's cheesy. It's fun. It's whatever, you
Yeah,
know.
we watch it every time.
Yeah, you got Beetlejuice up in there making funny jokes. It was pretty fun because they do keep up on times.
Oh, they have Beetlejuice in there now.
Yeah, he was doing pre-show entertainment pretty much, and then they were keeping up on times as far as like everything was a hand sanitizer joke or something like that, and you know it was pretty funny. And then I mean there was like 20 people in the audience too, which was crazy. It was just me and like a couple other people, so that was neat to experience it. The no line things was awesome.
Did
Um,
they still bring someone up on stage?
yeah, well, that's like the same person every time,
You know,
because
they
someone.
pick someone out usually.
Well, so they picked someone out, but then someone else was like, as I'm walking out, this like one person who just seemed like a super fan was like, you know, that person who got picked looks awfully familiar. Like every other time I'm here, and I watched those two people the one person got picked, and then they walked right back into it. So maybe they do just. I'm not
They
sure.
have a plant now.
Yeah, they have a plant, I think, because of the coronavirus and that kind of stuff. I'm not sure if they ever did it before. I'm not sure. Maybe, but they did pick on a bunch of people in the audience, like just like you know, call them out and that kind of stuff. But the person who went up might be a plant. Sorry
They
to ruin the
definitely
illusion for you.
they definitely weren't before, but
Oh,
I
really?
could see it changing. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I think now they did it probably just to give more people jobs and that kind of stuff. Um, oh yeah, so you go like there's a bunch of other stuff. I mean, there's something I can just go on for days and days and days about this, but like I had my own cabin in the Hogwarts Express. So every time you went back and forth, I had my own cabin, which I kind of felt guilty about because I'd be like, "How many are you?" And I'm like, "1," and they're like, "Okay." And you know, it's supposed to fit 8 people in there, and I just felt
Yeah.
guilty because those were the longest lines because it's such a mean, it's 3.5 minutes there, 3.5 minutes back because I recorded it, and those will be on the on the YouTube soon. Also, Universal, F you, because I could barely record anything. Because every ride I went on, they were like, no recordings going on. I couldn't do Jurassic Park. I got called on Jurassic Park. I could only do stuff inside, and it was like kind of lame.
Hmm. Cracking down on it more.
I don't know. Maybe just because there was nobody there that they had something to do finally.
Yeah.
Like, oh, sir, don't. And I was recording with my phone too. Like, I wanted to record Jurassic Park because everyone out there right now, no, Jurassic Park is old and busted. Jurassic World is so much better than Jurassic Park, hands down. I know you haven't ridden it yet, right?
No.
The new Jurassic World, but I went on that ride and I was like, oh my god, this is so. It's just old. Like nothing was working. And everyone who complains about it being like, I get the nostalgia fact about it. Like, I understand that. It's fine. I love that. The ride is still fun, but the new ride is like even better. And what they're already going, what's the plan and what they've been talking about is that they introduced the working stuff while this has all been down, all the new stuff into the Jurassic World ride. It's supposed to be even better. So when you get down here to like experience that, but like what's the really tall one? Brachiosaurus, right? Is that the really tall dinosaur with the big long neck like a giraffe?
Brontosaurus.
No, it's one of those. Whatever. Well, it swings down, and all of a sudden, just like it just went. It was like jittering down, and then just stopped. And I'm like, this ride was showing it's showing its age. It's really, really showing its age. I still love it. Don't get me wrong, but it was like, no, this was it. Jurassic World is a very good upgrade, and I love it.
Which do you want to segue into the other upgrade?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Well, Len, you start that one then.
Right, so
Everyone knows by now because we're lagging a little bit behind, and I know that was the Zach's cue to shut the fuck up, Andrew.
no, you can keep going, but I just thought
No, it's
that was a
okay.
good
It's a good
segue.
segue. It's a good segue.
Yeah. So
Um,
another
yeah, go.
retheming of a water park ride.
Dun
Uh,
dun
we
dun.
we have the Splash Mountain retheme coming.
Yeah, but what's it rethemed to?
It is going from. It is currently Song of the South,
Yep,
which is a controversial movie,
very.
and it's being rethemed to Princess and the Frog.
Um, what are your thoughts?
I'm all for this.
I'm so ready for this. Actually, I'm super happy. It's gonna be so cool. I didn't get to watch the movie, but I watched a few clips just because that was it Princess Frog, right? Um, wasn't it was like right when I was not into the Disney musical movie. That was like right out of my range into my sister's range, so I never got into that era of Disney. So I never got to watch it. Have you seen it?
Yeah, Megan made me watch it. It was pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. And it's like got some voodoo stuff in it and
Yeah,
like crazy like vibes and like it could get dark and cool. So I'm all for that. And it needs to. It needs to change. It needs to. Especially it's gotta and this is the best opportunity for it to change in the current climate and everything that's going on
yeah,
and to get the old Disney out of there because old Disney can get a little outdated real fast. Um, that's the best way to say it without, bringing up political stuff and that kind of, all that other stuff.
yeah. Like
It,
it's a ride I never usually ride that often, so it's like not something I care about. Like I get it.
I just, I think people take too, like, I understand the nostalgia factor of it, but it's also like, do you really care that much that
Yeah.
a
Or have
ride
you?
being themed?
Yeah. Or have you even seen Song of the South?
Yeah, have ya? You know, you never, like, no one ever has. Like, are you losing sleep over this ride being changed, or are you just trying to toot your own bullhorn because you rode it once when you were a kid and you don't want it to be changed? Like, it's mostly the people who are, it's the Karens who want to just toot their own horn and be like, this doesn't make me happy, so I'm going to tell everybody that I'm not happy. And you're like, but if I cannot wait for it to change, because I think we could go into another segue about other changes that might happen in the park. Then I think this might bring about a bunch of changes. Um, Jungle Cruise, I could see that being changed. I heard talks about that.
Yeah, there is a Jungle Cruise movie coming out,
Yep.
so
I mean,
probably will change.
let's update Disney rides, and you already know how I feel about that. I'm like, get them gone.
Yeah,
But I mean, like the Jungle Cruise, it's a fun ride. It's cheesy. It's campy. We love it. Was it the ninth wonder of the world or the eighth wonder of the world or the backside of water?
yeah.
O2H. They're gonna keep that stuff, of course, but you gotta also keep it up to date with everything that's going
Yeah,
on.
give me
Because
some new animatronics and stuff.
please do, because that ride is what, 60 years old. Jeez, guys, like you got like 60 years old is a crazy amount of time for any ride. I mean, ET is 25 years old, and I love ET. Look, he's right there on my shirt. But like that ride, I'll be sad for it to go. It needs to be updated if it's gonna stay. Like, I mean, I don't know how you do it, but bee bee boo 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 boo. And the meow, 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 meow. ET,
They
go
gotta
get
they gotta
ET.
keep that smell too.
Listen, okay, so about that, because this is going to segue over into my scent company that I'm making. The ET. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm gonna plug somebody, but I'm also gonna not plug them. This, sorry guys, I'm sorry for this about what I'm about to do. ET scent, and I'm sure they all smell like this. But sorry guys, this smells amazing. It's the extraterrestrial adventure. It smells amazing. It smells like a forest, but it doesn't smell like the ET forest. There's no pine in that goddamn place. You want to know why? Because I specifically took down my mask in order to smell it. It doesn't smell like this, guys. I like brought this with to make sure. And in the beginning, smells like fish. I don't know what that smell is. Yeah, when we go, I'm gonna be like in the part where you go the pre-show, which they're not doing that either. They didn't do the pre-show where it's like you have to help ET do your thing. Steven Spielberg, Steven, you know that
Yeah.
that wasn't happening. But there's a smell in there. There's a stank in there that I'm like, ooh, I don't like that stank. But the ET forest is more. I shouldn't give away my secrets now because I'm gonna have this. I'm gonna have the right formula when I come out with my scent spray. Should be coming out with that soon. The Pixel Perfection, or not Pixel Perfection. You can go to that if you want, everybody. But Let's Park It sprays. Whatever
Let's
I want to.
spray it.
Let's spray it. Yep. I'm gonna write that down. That's not a bad idea. That's also like a good fart spray for you know Spencer's gifts. But yeah, that smell isn't as no, it's different than the smells on here. But they didn't have any water effects either going on during the stuff. So the whole end scene. Also, Magdoll is the creepiest thing ever. Magdoll. And it's like, E.T. Like, what is this thing?
That's why it needs to stay.
I'm going to put a picture of Magdoll up right now. And you guys got to tell us, does this thing give you nightmares? Because it gives me nightmares. And then like the little one that's like, oh, it's like George of the Jungle.
Yeah. That
Like,
ride is just someone's
yeah,
fucking acid trip.
yeah, you have to be high in order to enjoy it. Like, and even the animatronics in the beginning look like they're from the 70s. Like, there's the girl in the van right at the beginning, and she's got like the Farrah Fawcett hair and that kind of stuff. Hilarious, because I rode
Yeah,
that a lot. Like, that's the one ride that
yeah.
you can just keep riding and over and
Oh,
over
yeah. My
again.
favorite part is when you go on to the police car and the guy's just like, "Whoa!"
Wow! Look, they're flying. It's so good. It's so good. And then I didn't even realize until this trip that ET's there too, and his head pops out every once in a while.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't even realize that because the one dude when I went up, he's like, "Why didn't you pick the one?" Because it was me. I'd be one row, there'd be two, like, was it 3 rows in there? I think, or yeah, I think it's three. And then they would put people in the third row, so it'd be me in my own row, and I'd be in the front, and he'd be like, "Why didn't you pick the one with ET?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's what the ET's right there." But it's like, I don't care. He's not gonna look around and be like, "Hey." It's not like I can take video anyways when you yell at me, assholes.
Yeah.
I didn't see Tim Tracker either. He was out and about. I didn't see Midway Mayhem or whatever that one is. I didn't see any of the other YouTubers. But then again, I wasn't really looking. Um, they were out and about doing stuff.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Now that they got something to do.
Yeah, right. They're like, "Oh, let's go out and do stuff." But, as we digress on this situation, I'm just happy that they're starting to retheme things, because these rides in Disneyland are getting old. So I'd enjoy the nostalgia, but it's time to keep up with the modern day and, give the kids something they can, live up to and, enjoy themselves and be, um, not necessarily politically, like, just be with the times, you know? I mean, I'm not necessarily like the Briar Rabbit stuff. It's just what it's based off of. The ride itself isn't bad. It's just what it was based off of that really is the bad part about it. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm happy because maybe that's gonna kick Disney in the butt and be like, we need to do everything now. And I'm like, yeah, let's retheme it all. Um,
I'm all for that with two exceptions.
oh, here we go.
Haunted Mansion and Pirates.
Okay, but look at Pirates Shanghai, and then look at like Mystic Manor. I,
Yeah. But
but like,
those they
what
make you want to go to those parks.
exactly? I want those rides.
You got to go to those parks.
Listen, I love Haunted Mansion. Listen, we both do. But I mean, it's right there. Boop. There it is. And right here. I'm thinking now. What do I want? I think I want something up. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it, but it needs to be updated. Give me some more updates. Like the Hatbox Ghost out here. Wait, have you seen the Hatbox Ghost out here? Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, that was an amazing. That's using the technology along with the old style, but
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
it needs to. I don't know. I'm getting sick of Omni Movers. I don't want it anymore. I don't want Omni Movers. Give me more rides in space, and I'm an adventure like Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah, do something like Runaway Railway where it looks like an Omni mover, but then it's trackless, so you can move around wherever.
That's what needs to happen right there. And I like that kind of stuff. But they're people eaters. I get that. Like they put so many people through on those rides. But then again, so is Rise of the Resistance. That's a people eater too. And so is Hagrid's. I was actually very impressed with Hagrid's and how many people can go through that. There's 3 trains running at a time on the tracks. And I'm
Yeah.
like, wow. And that also freaked me out too, because there's certain parts. Oh, I got stuck. Spoiler alert: there's a drop sequence in Hagrid's. I got stuck in the drop sequence for about 10 minutes in the forest and entangled in the snares or whatever the hell they are. The
I think that happened to us when we were there. It wasn't that long, but we got stuck there for a little
Oh,
bit.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got stuck. So this was the freakiest part, though. I got stuck for like it was literally 10 minutes because we watched the other car because there's two bays. One comes around. If you guys are watching, you can see my hand. One bay goes to the left, one bay goes to the right, and then the drop sequence comes down. So of course it's a safety mechanism. And, one's charging, one's going up, one's going down. Whenever it's going, in order to make sure everything's running smoothly. So we come in, and it's like we're just stuck there, and we're like, oh my god, what's going on? Then we see the next car come in, and like whoop, then we're just stuck. Then it was like 10 minutes, and all of a sudden we drop, and then they're like, okay, cars are gonna go. And then once you go out of there, there's like the thing that shoots you off.
Yeah.
Well, we go down, like it goes down, and then like the wheels take you, and then all of a sudden we went a little bit forward, and then we started rolling backwards. And that was the one time where I was like, uh-oh, I should never be rolling backwards on a roller coaster. But we were like creeping backwards. But really what was happening was it was resetting us into the launch sequence. I'll tell you what, though, because that's the most powerful launch, I think, in the entire ride.
Yeah.
And what you do is you normally go down a little bit, so you get the pickup speed and then launch. We went from 0 and it just went boop and just launched us to I think it's like 45 miles an hour. And I haven't felt that kind of launch in a long ass time. And I was like, fuck. It was so good. I was like, this needs to happen all the time. But I could imagine the amount of like tear and wear on that kind of stuff was crazy. Yeah, I'm thinking like I'm talking a lot during this episode. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, Disney. Disney stuff needs to be updated. But we can segue into more Disney stuff. What else is what's open today? What opened today? Tomorrow, yesterday, whatever when I
That would
decided to
be
put this?
today when we were recording is July 1st.
Yes.
And Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea reopened today.
Which is awesome.
You've been to this park, right?
I've been to both parks, and Tokyo Disney Sea to this day is my favorite theme park out of them all. It's amazing. It's undescribable. It's one of those parks that you're like, dang, I wish we had that here. It's like when it's like playing Roller Coaster Tycoon. Like when you get your own version of Disneyland that you get to do, that's what Tokyo Disney Sea is. And Tokyo Disney was really cool too. The crazy part is that there's like $70 a park for the day. They're not $100 million. They're $70, but they don't have a park hopper pass, so you have to buy individual parks. But you're like, it's $140, whatever.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
No, so and they're right across the street from each other. I'm glad that they're opening, especially with it being Tokyo. I'm gonna assume they probably have no problems whatsoever because they know how to put masks on rather than us. They know how to take care of business and I don't know, listen.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
there is all the other opening dates for the rest of the Disney parks on this article as
what
well.
are they?
So the next one is Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom in Orlando is July 11th.
Do we think that's going to happen?
I think it's close enough that it's going to happen.
You think they're going to shut back down?
No, it's Florida.
True, but
they do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, they're like, well, cases are at an all-time high. Yeah. Fuck them.
And July 15th is Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and
that's right.
Disneyland Paris and Walt Disney Studios Park, which is that in Paris as well?
I don't know.
I think it is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they have two parks over there.
Yep. And then July 17th is Disneyland California and California Adventure.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen though. We know that got pushed off already.
Did it?
Yeah, that one got pushed off. When was this article? 22nd. Yeah, that got pushed off.
22nd.
They're not opening. However, I am in the process of renewing my pass or like paying for it and getting the month. I gotta call them tomorrow about that. So that way, if it does open, I can go. But we just got put back into. There's no way that's opening anytime soon. We just got put back into no bars open. So we just gotta put right back. That's fun. But
Yeah.
I'm glad that everyone else is open. Excuse me. Glad everyone
Yeah.
else is opening.
At least there hopefully won't be another spike here to keep it off.
I hope. Yeah, I hope not. We'll find out. I know Florida's having a spike right now, so
Yeah.
we'll find out if I'm part of that.
You're gonna just vlog the experience.
I mean, like, whatever. I mean, not whatever. I shouldn't say that. That's a horrible thing to say. But I did take all the precautions that I could. Was it stupid of me to go out there during this? Was it selfish? Yeah, probably. But I did take all the precautions that I could while I was there. It was my mental health, that kind of stuff. I needed to get out and do some stuff.
Yeah.
People probably think I'm stupid for it, but I wear a mask everywhere, especially in California. You have to. But anyways, that's not about. That's a whole different situation. This is a podcast about theme parks. So we also have some not so good news. Some not so good news. Queen Mary out here in California, which is a Halloween haunted house on the Queen Mary, which is a boat, a ship. The Queen Mary, Dark Harbor, and the Queen Mary or Dark Horizons Point of No Return in Orlando, Florida, which I didn't know that was in Florida. Have you heard of that, Dark Horizons?
I haven't. And it's in Orlando too.
Yeah, so that must be like their sister, Queen Mary, Dark Harbor, and Dark Horizons. They look like their sister haunted houses, but big haunted houses. Like Queen Mary is a big haunted house. Due to the whole pandemic, has been canceled for 2020, which brings us up the question of will Halloween Horror Nights happen this year? Zach, your thoughts?
So there's been a screenshot of an email posted in a Horror Nights group that I'm in that they're looking for haunted house attendance.
And this is in Orlando.
In Orlando, yeah. Internally, they're not hiring outside of the company right now. So it's looking a little brighter, but there's still doubts everywhere.
Yeah, because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, with news like this, you never know.
It's kind of crazy to think about this and what's going on, and yeah, you never know. Like, I hope it happens. I mean, if it doesn't happen, I'm gonna be sad. We're both gonna be sad. Halloween's our jam.
Yeah, they've already canceled one of the major Halloween things.
I already forgot about that. Mickey's Not So Scary.
Yep.
And then who knows? Halloween. I don't think Halloween's going to happen out here in California. I'm starting to think it's not going to. It's going to be hard pressed. But people are still moving on to as it is that it's going to happen because it's July, August, September. Damn, it's 2 months. 2 months. End of 2 months. It starts.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, some smaller haunts will probably be open.
Yeah, probably. But other than that, but even if they can open, that's a different situation too, financially. because things
Yeah.
have been just crazy. But yeah, let's hope Halloween happens this year because Halloween is awesome and we need it. There's gonna be a lot of people struggling if it doesn't. Everyone's struggling though, so whatever. But
Yeah.
there's been a lot of good stuff happening, and hopefully we get everything open into parks. Let's get to the parks. Let's have some fun. Let's do some fun things. Do we have anything else for news, Zach?
I think that was it.
Anything else to say? Anything else to elaborate on? Anything you got on your mind? Any thoughts, concerns, comments?
Not really.
You
We've
know,
covered everything we wanted to and more.
and
So
more. I ranted for like a good 45 minutes per usual, so it's a good episode then, you know?
yeah, some story time with
Yeah.
Andrew.
Story time with Andrew and Zach. Zach listens, Andrew talks. That should be the name of the podcast.
I just give you more prompts to keep
Yes.
going.
Yeah, and then I just go, "Hey everybody, listen to my voice. This is so cool." I say things like big. Yeah, big. I don't. How do you say that word? How do you say what you put something into?
Bag.
Big. That's the only way I can say it. Wisconsin accent, everybody. Anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. I will be putting out a video though of on the YouTube channel of my day on Saturday or Sunday where I walk through the park, show everybody about the day-to-day stuff. So keep an eye out for that whenever I decide to do it, which should be tomorrow. Other than that, guys, make sure to comment, subscribe, like, blah, 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 wherever you find all of your podcasts, YouTube channels, that kind of stuff. If you're into movies, Zach, I hear you do something with movies.
We're coming back soon, and that's a Couple of Flicks podcast.
Make sure to check out a couple of flicks. Give it a listen, subscribe. Is it on YouTube as well?
It
right?
is.
And go onto the YouTube. We need that YouTube monies. And but other than that, guys, now it's time to say goodbye to all our company. Anyways, Zach, you know what to say.
Let's park it.
Boom, he nailed it. All right.